An ongoing cycle of prototypes and critiques help to make stories of direction an effective project. I used 3 guidelines to structure this practice. First is to simplify the first prototype by beginning with what is familiar. The first boat prototype was a drawing. Students sketched their boat ideas in 2 dimensions. We critiqued the drawings twice before we moved on to constructing 3-dimensional boats.
Still have it be like a metaphor, so should I
Similarly, we began the 200-word stories at a familiar place, responding to journal prompts, but with the added challenge of restrictive word counts. This way, students learned the craft of flash narratives without the burden of content. Each prototype of the story was followed by a critique. This cycle of drafting, critiquing, and revising helped students generate awesome work.
We landed a few hours later. We finally reached the US, a newly discovered planet. I was excited but skeptical at the same time. I heard stories about this place, the so-called Free Planet.
Another guideline that structured this project was purposeful prototyping. This means that the prototypes themselves would be displayed and held to exhibition standards. They were more than a means to an end. The 1/8 scale boats were an art canvas for imagery and figurative language from the 200-word stories. The 1/4 scale boat developed students' woodshop skills. The finished boat was used for a co-taught buoyancy lesson with the chemistry teacher. Crafting the boat prototypes gave students practice for making the full-size canoe. More importantly, it generated a lot of learning, both literary and technical. My last guideline for structuring the project was to critique with increasingly high stakes. The project deliverables went through several rounds of critique, and each time the audience and the outcome got more important. The first round was an informal peer critique. The second round was a teacher critique for a grade. By the third round, students emailed drafts of their stories to their community members for feedback. The fourth round was a formal critique with 11th grade students. And the final critique was displaying their work at exhibition. Purposeful prototyping and high-stakes critiquing prepares students for exhibition and motivates them throughout the prototyping process.